Ahoy!
Ahoy, ahoy!
He's Straw.
He's Pugger!
Together we are.
The Battle Hammer!
Your says so.
Yeehaw!
On the t-shirt.
I was zoomed in on the shirt actually.
Oh, nipples.
Yeah. We saw that. Just move into it nearer.
So Straw's taking cameraman duties.
Yes, I am.
And I'm taking opening of the greatness duties. So we are fortunate to have a Wild West Exodus Gunfight at Red Oak starter set, which we are reviewing and looking at and poking about today. So, nice box like that.
It's a lovely box.
It's a weighty thing. I tell you that much.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. I love the art because this is the new art for those of you who don't know. Wild West Exodus is steampunk cowboy styly game. Warcradle have recently re-released it as they picked it up from Outlaw Miniatures, who had it previously. Excuse me.
Die.
And this is the new.
Die.
This is the new starter set with Wyatt. Boo! What an overpowered handgun. And Jesse James. So if we slide off the slidey outer casing, which does have pictures on the back of all the miniatures or renders or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Got a nice kind of wood effect thing. Show the logo. There. Sturdy box. Open up the box. What do we have inside?
What is Paltrow's head?
Oh, if only. One day. So
One day.
Asprue, which has got on it
Everything apart from the
Frank
boogies.
James, Doc Holliday, an Iron Horse, an Interceptor, Jesse James, and Wyatt Earp. All of the bits are numbered, which I really like. So if you need A15 or D6 on the instructions, which I believe are online, it'll say what bit goes with what bit, which is something you don't always see. I really like. The detail's really nice. I mean, obviously you can't see it 100%, but the detail's really crisp. The chains on the cow head, lovely.
I actually prefer those ones to the resin ones.
Oh, there you go. Because plastic's the new, well, not the new, but it's yeah, lovely stuff. Right? Seams down the side of the trousers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we all like plastic because it's a bit easier to put together, and for stupid people like me and Straw, it just makes things a bit easier. And am I right in saying the these little packs? They don't have. There's like a set of 3 kind of packs, like satchel type doodads that go on the back of the bike.
Yeah.
They don't have to go on the back of the bike, right? You could just leave the back of the bike.
I don't know, because that's the big, that's the bad guys one.
Ah.
So I don't know the back of that. I've built so bloody many of them, you thought I'd know by now.
Aye. But yeah, all the rivets on the armour and stuff like that are really nice. Yeah, lovely. Loads of detail.
The thing I like about it is the fact that it's a box with miniatures, but you're not swarmed with miniatures.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like GW where you open the box and there's a fucking shitload of
You
miniatures.
don't even know where to start or anything like
this,
that.
you just put them together and you can start.
There you go. So that's in the book. We've got, handily enough, the rules, which is about A5, I think. Full rule book, loads of fluff in the background for all of the factions, explains who they all are. Deploy. I should probably show you the way it is. Full colour, full glossy colour, which is nice. There's what is missing from often rule books, which makes me sad, is an index at the back, which is really pretty good. Handy to have in your little gaming pack, and it fits in the box. I mean, you could keep most of this stuff just in the box. That's what I plan on doing. Some fluff at the start, like I say, all colour with plenty of artwork. And because of the way that they were not kick-started but beta tested, they really have got all the things you need in there. There's somewhere your conditions and stuff, which I really like, because sometimes they release this rule book and then you find out later that something's missing or they didn't mention this one rule or whatever. But because it's gone through this beta testing, actually it's really well written. And there's a few little spoilerific bits of artwork, like this guy whose name I forget, who's like a big giant mole dude who eats people. I mean, what's not to love, right?
Well, not being eaten by it for a start.
And it feels nice. It's a nice, you know, the pages are thick. glossy. It's not like a crappy little. Normally, some of these kind of smaller rule books can be a bit meh. None, love it. Good times. So we've got a rule book. We've got a sprue of miniatures. We've got the bases. The bases for Wild West Exodus are slightly different than your normal bases. They're kind of stepped a little bit, so they look more like little plinths. Little. Each model's a little display piece, which is nice. We have another little sprue of canine attack dogs. So they're the robot dogs that come on the smaller bases and they bite your opponent
in the face.
Again, I've put some of these together because I picked some up before and they're really nice. They go together relatively easily. I mean, I wouldn't say they're fiddly, but obviously they're small.
A little bit.
They are a little bit because they're small, not because they're. But they're not like Malifaux fiddly or anything ridiculous like that.
No,
that's
ridiculously fiddly.
They're only fiddly because they're small and we're crap and old, not because they're intentionally fiddly. And then we've got Straw's favourite, the big canine gun dogs, which have, and I think there's a Gatling gun, a flamethrower, and like a rocket pod.
Yeah.
But you can use the Gatling gun as a different kind of machine gun, and you can use the
points for it, you tell
flamethrower
your
as something
opponent.
else. And the rocket pod could be anything really.
But why would you want to use anything but the Gatling guns?
Again, lovely detail on the plastics, plenty of depth on the moulding, not a huge amount of mould lines or anything like that. Lovely stuff. Good times. Then we have one of the templates. So they've got one template to rule them all, which is a torrent template, so like flamethrowers and shotguns and stuff go whoosh, but it's got a circle at the end, and that's your blast template, so that's your explosion grenades and stuff like that, which I really like, that you don't have this for that and that for that and that for something else. And there's a line down the middle, so when you make an attack, you put it over that's your initial target, so it's pointing at him, and then it hits everyone who's in the template. And I think it's nice because it's nice and easy rather than like reorganising. Well, that's in and that's out. No, he's the intended target, and then everyone else gets hit. Good stuff, and it's clear, so you can see through it. Sometimes these things you can't see through, or their colour is a bit weird, and it kind of puts you off a little bit. But nice, so you can put it over stuff and you can see through. So that's good. Nice. Then we have some dices. For dicing. But I do like that they've got the Wild West Exodus symbol, which is your critical success, and they've got the ace, which is your critical failure. I have rolled a critical success and some numbers. Hooray!
It's very nice dice as well.
They are nice dice, and you get 4. You only really need to roll like 2 or 3 at a time at most, so it's nice that you're not going to neg on Fantasy Flight, but it does frustrate me when they clearly know that you need like 6 or 7 dice, but then you send you 4, so you have to buy the other dice pack. It's like, I'd rather spend a little bit more money for the box and get the correct amount of dice. And you do, which is nice. You like that. Boom! Well done, you guys. We have the deck. Have you got an open one, so I don't have to open this? Because we've already got a deck of the cards. So you've got a big deck of your action. Cheers. Your action and adventure decks, and little things I like. They've got it sealed with like a cigarette pack opening, so you can get the cling film off nice and easily. I know it's just a little thing, but I really love stuff like that because it does matter for your experience of getting your thing. If you're sat there picking away at it for half an hour, you can't be fucked to play now. Bam! So here's one I prepared earlier. So you've got your small cards, which are your action cards. You draw these as the turn goes on, and that tells you how many actions you get for that activation. And they've got a little number in the top corner, which is for things like initiative. They feel really nice. Obviously, they're playing card style cards, but they're very, you can read everything. The information's clear. There's nothing, there's a nice bit of embellishment, but there's no distracting art or anything like that. I know for Malifaux, a lot of times they use those super fancy cards, and they're all well and good, but you can't really read them because they're all weird squiggles and stuff. And the same goes for the adventure cards, which are your guts and glory. I did get that all the way around. Hooray for me! Glory and guts. So you can use one half to do a thing, or the bottom half to do a different thing. The guts being bonuses during the game, like action points and stuff, and the glory being victory points and stuff. And you get one of those in the box, which is nice. Then, not leastly, but not lastly either, we've got a set of cards which you've got all your stat cards. So you've got how to build a posse. So you get a boss and you get hands and faces, hands and faces, hands and faces and arses and things. Sorry, that's a Shooting Stars reference. But you get your, like, who you put in your people in the slot. So the army building's really nice and easy. Double-sided, which is good. Then you've got your character stat cards. They're slightly taller than your standard kind of cards, but they do sleeves for them. I want to say it's somewhere like Mayfair or something like that, but there is a company that do sleeves. But you don't need sleeves because there's nothing to mark down. So, yeah, I mean, people like having sleeves to protect their cards, but you don't need them for the game. So that's good. And actually, they're really printed really well. The detail's really clear. The writing isn't too small. You can read it quite nicely. Even from kind of like this kind of, you know, from here, I can read it out, you know, you can't see my face, but kind of arm's length, I can still read it. Little things like I like that they've got the base size in the top corner on the back. I think's nice. So that way there's no argument. If someone rocks up to your club and you've got something on a big base, which does make a difference in game what base size it's on, and then you go, oh, what size base should he be on? Or actually, he should be on a small, or should be on a large, or whatever. Which I think is a nice touch. Got all the special rules. There are cards for the peoples. Another nice little thing, because Straw and I, as we've said before in many other things, we love cheat sheets. So there is a cheat sheet which has got a little cheat card which has got all of the conditions on it, negative and positive conditions, and how to make yellow checks and stuff. Nice to have things like that, always good. And one with the common special rules as well. So they've got special rules on the back of the cards, on the back of the unit cards. So the special rules are written there, but there is a set of general common rules on the top there, and they're all on this card. So nice and easy to check. Really good. They've got a version 1.00, so as the game moves on and they change as they make tweaks and things like that, you'll know whether it's the updated one or not, because it'll have version 1.00 or 1.36 or whatever they end up getting to. So there's no worry of like, oh, what one was this? Am I on season this or season that? Oh, I don't know, because it doesn't say it, but it says on all of these, which I think is a nice little touch. And then we've got the armory cards, which have got all your weapons if you buy upgrades for your units and stuff. Again, I just think the cards are really nice and they're really nicely organised.
I like the way that you have got the cheap cards and they are all the same size.
Yeah, so
Lovely.
you just need a little, you know, you've got a stack of that and that's all my stuff I need. I don't need anything else. That and the rulebook, but the rulebook's not too big to go through. It's not like 40k, fucking hundreds of pages to fucking wade through. And then lastly, but by no means leastly, really nice thing is there's a set of tokens, cardboard pop-out tokens. I won't pop them out because, you know, this is all pristine at the minute. With a little range. Oh no, let's see, pop that one out.
Oh, said good day, sir.
There's a range ruler, goes up to 8 inches, which is nice because for people who are buying a start set who don't necessarily know things, it's easy to kind of set that up. The tokens are colour coded.
It's all on the cards
against these negative conditions. So the yellow is hazard, the black is stunned, I believe. Yeah. Red is disordered, and blue is on lookout. Green is on lookout. And they match on there. Lovely, and they're double-sided.
It's a lovely little set.
Which is, you know, I mean, yes, you may well want to get some acrylic ones at some point in the future, or something like that, or do some fancy ones. But there's nothing wrong with them at all. They stand out on the table as well because they're all kind of bright colours, which I really like. Because a lot of times in games, tokens can kind of disappear. Either you can't see them or they take away, I think. And these are just the right kind of middle ground balance.
There's only one issue I've got with it.
What's that?
Is maybe there should have been a half sheet that size with your
Fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah, arguably, yeah. Fortune would have been nice, but I mean that's about it. There's nothing else I can think of that I would change in a set.
It's a really nice little set.
Lovely little set. I think it's, if I'm right in saying, it's £35.
I can't for the life of me remember.
Okay.
But it's good value.
It is, yeah. It's not an ridiculously expensive set. You get enough stuff in the. You get enough models. You know, you get a dude on a bike. You get your boss. You get a hero, and you get a couple of these attack dogs. Nice thing is the attack dogs can be used in any or almost any faction. So that's always good because you don't feel like you're, I want to get into a different faction now, I'm wasting these. Actually, you can still use the attack dogs. But you get hands, you get a cool bike thing to use, you get a face and a boss. So you get a range of things. You don't just get a bunch of bods or a bunch of heroes, you get a nice mix of stuff. So you can go and check it out on wildwestexodus.com. And also, if you want to find out more about the factions, all the rules are free to download. All of the faction cards and stuff are free to download. So you can go and check them out. If you want to expand into certain things, you can look before you buy, which I always really appreciate, because I hate when you know, you've got to buy the codex. Oh, I don't want to buy the codex. I want to see what they do first. Oh, well, you've got to do this. Actually, you can just check it out online and decide from there. So I've got a Confederate force that I'm working on at the moment. I will be putting up videos. There is a first video where it's like, here's the stuff I got, and I'm going to be doing build videos and paint videos and tactics videos and stuff as time goes on. And one of the things I did really appreciate was that I could go on the website, look at the stat cards, work out the guys I wanted, and go, well, I quite like his special rule. I quite like this guy works with him, and he's got this thing. Without having to buy a book, I could just download it and then see what I wanted. So I didn't feel like obliged to buy stuff, which I really like. Go and check it out. If you like cowboys and you like steampunk, there's lots more to come from them as well. We've got sneaky peeks of Infernal Affairs, who are lore people who also hunt monsters and stuff. There's going to be a faction you like.
Yeah.
Because there are 8 main factions. There might be more. But each of those factions is in turn split down and further. So the Outlaws are about 4 or 5 different factions within the Outlaw faction. The Lawmen, you might like some parts and you can take bits and go to other bits. You don't feel like you have to buy the whole lot, which I really like. They don't feel like you could play as Lawmen, you could play Wyatt Earp and the Tombstone Posse, but you could also variate that and play Morgan Earp, who's part of the Tombstone Posse, but you could really go heavy on the robots. Or maybe you want to go with Bass Reeves and do the kind of Lawman crossed with Native American Warrior Nation type guys. There's a lot of ways you can go. There's probably something you'll like, so it's worth checking out. We do battle reports, so if you want to see how the game plays, you can check those out.
Or how not to play.
Yeah, totally, because we are #shit.
But we also had an interview with Stuart.
Yeah, we got an interview with Stuart Mackiness from War Cradle, one of the brains behind this game. We've got an interview with him, so you can check that out. There'll be a Wild West Exodus playlist.
Yes,
I believe.
there is.
Yeah. We've got plenty more games coming up. But do check out, if you want to dip your toe in, definitely worth getting the start set. There's nothing that you will regret owning.
No.
You know?
No. There you go.
So go and check it out. Big shout out to the guys at Wild West Exodus. I think they've been, and this isn't just us blowing hot air, I think the direction they're taking the game, the commitment they've shown. I'm not going to lie, when they first said, we're buying this game and we're going to do this new game, I think whenever a company buys out someone else, you are concerned that they'll just buy the stuff and sell the stuff and then not really care. I'm not going to name names, but I have seen other companies buy other properties and then nothing's happened with them. And that's such a shame. Like, if you're going to buy the property and the IP, do something with it. And I think that War Cradle have just totally done that. They've supported the game. We know there's new stuff coming out. They've shown teasers. They've been really like a really strong force at the conventions they've been to. They've got massive stands with loads of demos on. You know, they've got new artwork and new models coming out. They've completely changed the way the game plays. Been really supportive of the community, doing this back and forth. What I really liked was, you know, you go onto Facebook, you know, you might have an idea, or you'll have a question, and you go onto Facebook and someone will answer, you know, or they'll say, actually, that's going to be covered in a future errata or whatever. I think it's really nice that the game's getting supported like that. So there you go. Go and check out wildwestexodus.com. Do go into our playlist and look at other things. If you like us, that would be great. Give us a like. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it and want to subscribe. If you don't like it and don't want to subscribe, you don't have to like and subscribe, but we would like it if you liked and subscribed. And anything you want to say, Cyril? Or have you had your back? You've got back pain.
I'm so busy laughing. Sorry.
Stay hammered.